Alright, we'll try it this way. I'll wait till it comes up on the screen. I'll fix everything later. And see if anybody will come. I get my camera up here for you. Let's see. I don't know if you guys will come, but I've had a heck of a start here. Sorry I'm late. I was trying to get on Hangout so we could have a panel tonight, but it did not want to hook up. I don't know what the problem was. So I'll just sit here and wait for you guys to catch up. Hey Chipper, hey Keith, how you doing? I was trying to have a panel tonight, but Hangouts is not letting me hook into them. It would let them come in, and they could hear me, but I couldn't hear them. So it's been all this time I've been trying to get everything lined up, but Hangouts just would not let me hook into it. I don't know what the deal is. I guess I will have to uninstall Hangouts and reinstall it. It's the only thing I know to do. But I didn't want to leave you guys hanging either, so what do you do, right? Trying to get you guys organized here so I can see what's going on. Alright, Chipper's here, Skyla, Shiloh Sky, Kyle, and that's it. Rob. Yeah. I can't get in. They won't let me even get in there now. It says you're there, but it won't let me in there. You guys could have a chat session over there if that's what it'll work, if it works for you. Yeah, they won't let me in there, Steve. Yeah, I got over on my other computer because the one I was using is an HP, so I went and got on one that has Chrome on it, and it wouldn't let me in. It says I was already on a call. So I really don't know what's going on. First time that's really ever happened to me. I've always been able to work through the issues and get it up and running, but tonight it won't. So I'm frustrated, so I didn't want to leave everybody just hanging out. So I started up OBS. Maybe I should try to bring OBS over there and see if that'll work. You're looking out the bad weather, yeah. So I didn't know what to do, I wanted to make sure everybody knew what was going on, that it wasn't that we were just leaving them high and dry. I might try to bring Hangouts in through my OBS and see if that will work. Because it was not cooperating no matter what I did with the other computer. Yeah, that's what I said. I'm gonna try to get uh my hangouts in. I have to actually turn on a virtual camera here. So hold on a second, and we'll see if we can get it to turn in this way. So just hold on. You guys visit there for a second, and I'll see what I can do. Hey, West Wind. What did George Carlin say? I'm afraid to ask now. Let's see if I can do something here. Still trying to get on, you guys. Yeah, it is a big deal to me. I don't like to be like that, but I'm gonna try something here. I'm trying to go in the back door with my OBS, see if that will work. If it doesn't work, we'll just stay in OBS, and I will have to work off my notes, I guess, and then we'll plan for another day. When I may have to uninstall Hangouts and reinstall it. Yeah, that's I know. I don't understand that, Wayne. I've never had that issue before, so it's kind of weird. I was trying to get in there, and it wouldn't even let me come in. It told me that I was already on a call. Yeah, I don't either. I may have to uninstall or reinstall that Hangouts program because I've never had that issue before. But I'm trying to bring this up here, and I switched stuff around. My OBS is in my other laptop. That's why I was trying to get into it. But we'll see. Maybe I can jam things around here. We'll see what happens. I really hate this new creator studio. It makes you do a bunch of stuff you don't want to do. So makes one more step for us dummies. So I'm gonna try to create a new event here. How you doing, Keith? Are you feeling better, buddy? Wow, I see some chat over there. That's something, I guess. There is a chat window going over there. Hold on, I'll try to get the event going. Oh, that's my OBS. There we go. That's why I can see that chat window. Let's see. Create. See if I can create a new one. See if it'll let me. Oops. I just shorten everything up just to see if it's gonna work here. And I can always go back and edit it later. See if that'll work. Well, at least we got people jumping in there. That's a good thing. Yeah, that's what we need. We need Papa Texas. He's pretty good. He usually pops in at some time. Yeah, still changing all my screens here. Hold on. I'll have to change the camera. There's part of it. Uh-oh, there was an error. Cancel that. Change this to a camera. Right camera. That's probably what they're trying to tell me. Save that. There I am. I can. Looks like I'm talking now. All right, I'm gonna try to send you guys another link. Hold on. Copy that thing there. All right. See what we can get going here. This might work. Cross your fingers. All right. Get to the right mailbox. I guess if we don't get it, we don't get it. But I'm gonna try one more time. Come on, mailbox. Let's see. All right, I'm going to be sending you a link here in about 30 seconds, Rob. As soon as my computer catches up. Let's see. It's loading up. Come on. There we go. Get down here. Link. Whoops. Hate these kind of headsets. Come on, get out there. Got that. See if I can get this done right now.
Maybe you think you could find that document? I'll see for you.
Come on.
Oh, you found the. Yeah. Might be something else.
This is some meat juice or something.
Yay! Cool.
It looks like it's gonna let us.
Oh no, I could have closed it a little bit. Yeah, you've got your selection.
do it.
You can have that one or break past.
Well, I guess it's not gonna let us do it. I'm gonna have to uninstall and reinstall that Hangouts program. Sorry about that, you guys. I'll make it up to you. We'll do it next week. There's still plenty to talk about. Doesn't have to be what we had planned on tonight. It could be what we planned on tonight. Hey, Bale Prepper, how you doing? Bye, you. Sorry about that. I guess we're just not gonna do Hangouts tonight, guys. Sorry about that. I truly apologize. get down here. Yeah, looks like we got Mr. Big Kid in here. I haven't seen any of him around for a while. All right, so we're clear. Everybody can hear me, right? I'll try to just cover some of the stuff that I was going to cover. We'll try to get some stuff together next week. Next Monday, we'll try it again. And I'll get Hangouts out of my stuff and back in and see if that will work. That's what I just tried to do there, Jamie. And Hangouts just keep telling me I'm in a call, so I'm thinking that it's hung up. I'll probably have to uninstall it and reinstall it. Hey, I see Trying to Survive's in here. I don't even have my fancy little box hooked up. I was planned on doing a hangout, so I'll just have to wave at you guys, say hello, instead of giving you the hand of applause that we've been doing. And things get hectic when they don't go right, you know. Want to welcome everybody here tonight. I'm sorry it was so late, but it's almost 8:30, and for over an hour, we've been trying to get up and running for you guys. But it was just not meant to be for tonight, I reckon. So I'm just gonna have to wing it by myself. I only had a few notes for myself, so hopefully it just won't take very long to get through it. Like I said, I truly apologize. It's supposed to be better than this, and usually is, but not tonight. How is Hoople's cat doing tonight? I'll go through here real quick before we get started. Let me get all the way back up here so I can get the box closed up and get to the participants. Let's see, get you over here. I have Bayou Preppers are in here, Cheryl DIY's in here, Corsair Trainer, Cruiser Mac, Handy Camper, Hooples is in here. It's Wanda Woo. Hey, that's a good one, Wanda Woo. Hi, Wanda. JH586 is in here, Mr. Blue Kid, Old Man, Red Life. You get that package I sent you yet, old man? Red Life. Hey, how you doing, Red? Good to see you, my friend. Rob Painless, Shiloh, which is Keith. How you doing, Keith? Truth Breeze. How are you? I don't know that name. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully we'll see it more. And then West Wind Survival. If I missed anybody, make sure you let me know so I can holler your name out. I want to make sure everybody gets recognition for being in here this evening. I think I got everybody. Oh, there's one right there. I just saw it. Where is it? Mr. Bug. I didn't see that one earlier. Hey, how you doing there, Staff Sergeant? Good to see you. I was really trying to get a Hangouts going, but my Hangout hung up. uh, sorry about it. Anyway, I'll just talk about what I have here, and then we'll pick up next week. I'll get my Hangouts fixed somehow, and we'll figure it out. So if I didn't call your name, just make sure you highlight your name down below. Highlight my name, and I'll holler your name out for you. So I was going to talk about staying mobile in any situation tonight. Was one of my topics is make sure you're always ready to be out there running around, being mobile. You never know when something's going to happen. That's what I've told you guys in other live streams that you should have a go bag or somewhere close to the door or in a location in your home where you can just grab it and go. That's a pretty important thing. Also, you need to know what your capabilities are. You need to make sure that you know what you can do and try not to overdo what you can do because that's going to get you in trouble. So, Andy Capper, how you doing? Did I call your name? If I didn't, I'm calling it out right now. How are you doing? Good. Okay, I'm just checking real fast here. Also, you need to know the basics, and that what that means is just your situational awareness. If you don't know what's going on around you at all times, you really don't know what you can expect. I mean, I'm not saying to sit there and be like, tweaking out and saying what's going on, but just basically know what's going on around you all the time. I mean, we do that every day. Most people do. So make sure that you do situational awareness, and then another thing is make sure that you keep a solid foundation for your family or the group that you're in. Because if you don't have a solid foundation, yeah, you're gonna break down in your communication and your trust. So you want to make sure that that foundation is solid. So when you're starting to prep for the first time, or you've only been prepping for a while, or whatnot, when you're talking to people, make sure that you know where they're coming from before you start spouting out a turn or something. They may not have the same ideals that you have. I guess is the right way to put it. So that's basically what that means is just to keep a good foundation. When you build your house, you don't want to build it on a soft foundation, right? You want to make sure the foundation is solid. That's a good analogy, I guess. If you're gonna build your group or your family into being able to take care of yourself, you have to pick up your bags and run out for some reason, then you want to make sure that that foundation is solid. So you also want to be able to trust the people that you have around you. Family members is a very big thing. We as family members, you don't always trust your family. But if you were to be in a situation where you had to, would you? That's a kind of a two-sided coin uh, analogy, I guess. Like I have a brother, but I don't trust him. It's just the way it is. It's been that way for years. Uh, when we were kids growing up, he pretty much snitched me off every time I did something that he didn't like. So I don't trust him. So if you're gonna bug out with family or group members, make sure you trust them because trust is going to be part of that foundation. So the first thing you want to do after you get all that kind of put together, that's like bundling up your foundation. Those first things I was putting together there. So what you want to do is the first thing you want to do with all that is you want to make sure that you have a plan. Plan is going to be a big part of being able to survive a disaster or a SHTF situation, whatever you want to call it. If you believe in zombies, make sure that you got a plan so you can take care of them, okay? So practice with all that you have, all the family members and the group members that you have. And the big thing is if y'all hang out together, you want to make sure that you like put scenarios together. Say Bobby or Billy down the street. They are the zombies, and we got to make sure that we keep them away from us. Make sure you have a solid plan and practice that with all your family members and group members. And like I was saying before, you got to make sure that your bug out bag is close by the door or close to where you grab it. If you're practicing your bug out techniques and with all that with your scenarios, you're gonna have that bug out bag close to where you're gonna be heading out the door. So what you want to make sure is that you're gonna have one for each person that's in your house. That's basics right there because everybody that's in your house is going to run out the door, grab one, put it on their shoulder, and out the door. Well, each bag is not going to have the same thing in it. You're going to make sure that the bags each have a little bit of everything that you guys are going to need because if you're bugging out, there's something wrong and that you can't stay at home because most people are going to bug in. We all know that already. It's just a proven fact that everyone's going to just bug in. So if you're bugging out, you're bugging out for a reason. You're bugging out because something's happening that you can't stay in the location that you're at. So you want to make sure each one of the bags has something a little bit different in it, and that you don't overpack them. Make sure that you're not packing it where you can't carry it. Make sure the weight distribution is put together so everybody is only being able to carry what they can. Some people can't carry as much as others, so you want to make sure that each bag is going to be just heavy enough for the person carrying it that they can hike, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 miles, maybe 10 miles a day. If you have an 80-pound bag, you're not going to be able to uh, carry 80 pounds all day long. It's just, I mean, I don't care how good you are, you're not going to be able to do it. Okay? So try to learn some skills. Just another thing, you should try to learn some skills that will allow you not to have so much in your bag. If you're leaving home, you're going to leave a lot of stuff behind, so you may want to gather up some skills before you have to do that. Is like me, when I was in my whole life, I've always spent most of my life outdoors. So I've always learned how to do some of the stuff that requires staying gone for a while without taking half the house with you. So, I like, if you look at my bag, I have a little folding saw down the back of the bag. On the outside, I'll have a cross cut saw. There's no way I'm going to put a damn chainsaw on that thing. There's just no way. It won't fit, for one thing, and it'll be too heavy. So, that's one of the things that you want to make sure that you're making it light enough, but having all the things you need. So, that's where it comes into play that if you have multiple people in your house or in your group, and make sure that each bag has something that the whole group can use, but no duplicates. That way, everybody's carrying their weight. I see some people are coming in here. What? I must have missed something. Somebody got ate by a black bear. I'm not even gonna go there, I guess. So you want to try to learn the skills out. You want to, when packing your bob, you want to make sure that the things that you're going to use all the time, you may have to stop and do things along the way. So you want to make sure that the things that you use all the time are on top of the backpack. So you're not always in there digging through it trying to find what you need. So everything that you need that you might use along the way, like saws or shovels or pry bars, things like that, the important things, you want to make sure those are on top of the bag. And also, you want to leave a little bit of space in the top of the bag so that if you find things along the way, you can kind of pick them up and put them in there. Some people just don't think about that kind of stuff. You may be leaving in a big hurry, but you may not be able to take everything. So if some of the things that you may not be able to take, you may be able to find along the way. So make sure that that's something that you're doing. Leave room for more stuff. Okay, one for each person. We got here's 10 things that I like to always keep in mind. I'll go over them one at a time. We'll try to talk about them one at a time. One thing is make sure that you're going to have good organization skills. You want to make sure of that because you want to make sure everybody's doing the job that they're supposed to be doing. If you've got too many people doing one thing, some of the other things don't get done. So you want to make sure that you have good organizational skills, and I would say that that would be the number one thing of uh, being prepared is make sure that you have good organizational skills. And I'm not going to go into it tonight, but there should be a checklist. You should have a checklist of all the things that you need to take with you when you're going to bug out. Because you're going to have a lot of stuff. If you're like me or any of the most of the other people in the room here tonight, they're going to have a lot of stuff stored up in their house, but they're not going to be able to take all that with them. So That's where those organizational skills would come into play. You want to make sure that some of that stuff gets laid off in each backpack that's going out. Also, you want to make sure that you're trying to be as frugal as possible. And what that means is that you're not going to be using anything that you don't need to before you do it. So, frugality is a very big thing on your little route to be bugging out. Make sure that you're not using anything that you don't need. You make that way you'll make things last very much longer. And then also you want to be able to prioritize or risk assessment, I guess is a better word for it. Make sure that you have a good risk assessment going on so that you can prioritize what's going on. That will come into the very first one of organization. Organization and prioritization probably kind of go hand in hand. And these are all things that are going to happen. I mean, you're picking up your bags and you're leaving, and you're going to have a bug out location. Most of us do have a bug out location, and so most of us have two bug out locations if you're good enough. Some have one, but you know basically the direction that you're going to head in. So you should know basically how much stuff it's going to take you to get from where you're at to where you're going. Risk assessment is how risky is it going to be to take what you have with you to get to that location? That's a priority, pretty much, you know. And it would come into things like your sidearm and your knives and stuff. That is for another time when I have my panel up here. So you want to make sure also that you know something about first aid. I mean, there's first aid and CPR actually. It, there's plenty of classes out there that you can go to. There's some of them actually give them to you free if you look for them online. But the ones I took, I paid for, but it wasn't really that much. Excuse me, you guys. Let me get a drink. It actually was like $35 for me to get both my CPR and my first aid card together, and they're mine are good for 5 years. So if you can get more training than first aid and CPR, that would be a plus. They have tons and tons of training out there now. Uh, with the new age of computers and whatnot, it's just about impossible to say that you can't uh, become trained in some sort of first aid or CPR or learn the ins and outs of a trauma kit, all that kind of stuff there. And then make sure don't be relying on mom or the sister or the daughter be cooking food for you. Make sure that you yourself know how to cook, because that way if it comes down to it, people can take turns, and then it will keep them from being so depressed. Yeah, you're gonna find out that people get depressed pretty darn easy when SHTF happens. It's gonna be a big thing, you know. So the more everybody shares the chores or shares what's going on around them and knows what the other person's going to do before they do it, that's a big thing right there. Knowing each other well enough that that can happen, you know. So make sure you know how to cook. That's going to be a plus. And it's not saying, well, we're out of here. Come on, mom. Don't forget the pots and pans. Billy got to eat when it comes dinner time, you know. And then another thing is gardening. I know that that's a dead horse in our community, but for the people out there that are just trying to get started in it, uh, or thinking about getting started in it, you should learn how to garden. You should learn how to plant seeds and nurture them up, and also you should collect seeds. Uh, Most of us have them already uh, down in my location where I keep most of my stuff. I have two huge coffee can things. I think they're 3 pounders. and they are stuffed plumb full of seeds of all kinds. Because when all heck breaks loose, you're not going to be able to run to the store all the time. Pretty sure we're going to have a bunch of homesteaders, but you're going to have to start over at some point, and you should be able to do that if you're thinking ahead far enough. Yeah, food storage is another one. Make sure that you're storing and rotating your food. Make sure it's easily accessible. I know that if you're bugging out, it's going to be hard, but when you get to your bug out location, you should have food already there waiting for you. So you make sure that you go through the food when you get there and you rotate the food out so that nobody's sitting there getting sick or anything. Or, some of the cans get punctured or damaged or whatever. You got to make sure you inspect them and all that good stuff. Make sure everything's going pretty well, If you're one thing I can't say enough is make sure you have somewhere to go. If you're going to bug out, make sure you know where you're going to go. Make sure that it's going to have some food and stuff when you get there. Like some people don't even have enough money to get another bug out location. But even if you could just buy a little property or whatever, you could put something up that would store food at least. Or I've even heard war stories of people burying their food. But you know what? I used to practice that in some of my videos. It's not very fun to do, and I don't really think that the food would last very well. Especially if everything's gone to heck, and people might find your property and they might find the soft spots and take the food anyway. You really never know. Let me take a break, take a drink here, catch up with the chat, you guys. Like, Cheryl was going to be on the panel tonight. I was going to have her discuss how she goes about prepping. She's a new prepper to our community, and from watching her channel and talking to her, she is doing pretty well taking care of it. So she even is having some. She's starting a little garden. Did a video where she showed laying the seeds out and planting them and marking them. She showed you shortcuts on how to do all that. So if you get a chance and you're new and you're just thinking about starting up, prepping or homesteading or something like that, it wouldn't hurt to go back and just check some of the videos of the people inside the chat room here. There's plenty of good ones for sure. Planting is going to be a biggie, I'll tell you. Also, we're going to go through a short communication class here. Communications when you're bugging out is going to be real important. Make sure that you have some sort of communication devices, walkie talkies or both bail fangs, whatever you want to call them, something like that, or even like a bail fang is like a portable ham radio. So you might need to make sure that you get your license for a ham radio. All you have to do is get the basic license. I think it's like $15 or something like that. And all you have to do is really get the license, and then you could operate a bail thing. But you want to make sure that you at least have walkie talkies, and that they are good enough walkie talkies that they will reach out there. I'm I'm gonna just go out on a limb here and say make sure that they will reach a minimum of 10 miles. That way you got your folks out ahead of you scouting and whatnot, and that way be able to keep in touch with them. And that's going to fall down a little bit if you're in a hilly territory. Sometimes the waves don't go over hills very well, so make sure that you're going to get a good enough communication device that you can communicate with the scouting parties, or say somebody gets separated from the group, then you may have a way to contact them and find a way to get them back in towards your group or close to it where you can go get them. Another big thing that's going to be a big thing is you need to have good people skills. Now, not everybody gets along with everybody. I mean, I know a guy that he goes to work, and if he doesn't get along with his boss, he just tells him to go F himself and he walks off the job. So he doesn't have very good people skills. You know, he must be light tempered or something. But having good people skills is going to be very important in an SHTF situation because, hey, you're going to have to get along with everybody whether you want to or not. I mean, you're going to have to be able to. Best way is read people. I'm an older guy and I've been around for a while. I can pretty much just talk to people and read them, you know, and that's the kind of skill that you want to have. If you're going to be bugging out, you want to be able to tell if the guy talking to you is shooting you full of crap or whatever, you know. May have somebody wandering in off the trail that's not quite with the group or whatever and start spouting off some words of wisdom, and you want to be able to tell whether that person is actually telling you the truth or telling you a big fat lie, you know. So that'd be important to have those people skills. That'd be like in socializing and stuff like that. You know, you want to be able to sit around and socialize with people. You want people to be able to say, hey, Billy over there, he's got pretty good attitude about everything. I just want to learn something, go over there. He's easy to talk to. Something like that. Socializing skills, people skills. Another thing that comes into play with your people skills is that you can use those skills to train others. You know, and you can train them on things that you don't know or that they don't know. It could be a cross training thing. You may be able to go show uh, Billy how to run Sally's washing machine, or Sally might be able to show Billy how to fold clothes, or somebody might be able to take a group of guys out in the woods and teach them how to shoot a rifle or sight in their scopes or whatever. But you know that is something that you have to have. Is you have to have the, in my opinion anyway, you have to have everybody cross trained up into doing everything that's possible along the route that you're taking to go to your bug out location. I mean, you never know what it's going to be. You don't know if you're going to be able to go out, jump in your car, and drive to your bug out location, or if you're not even going to be able to do that. If you're just going to have to jump outside and just start hoofing it, you know. So you want to make sure that you're able to socialize with people because if you're out there walking around, you know you're going to run into other people and you're going to want to be able to get along with them. So you can ask them where they've been. They can ask you where you've been. You know, you can kind of network with each other and find out what's going on out there in the real world. Another thing is when you're out there getting ready to go to your bug out location, you want to make sure that you're taking your tools along with you, some tools for sure. You don't want to like take your whole garage. I mean, I would love to take my whole garage. That would be really something to do. But if I was going to take my whole garage, I would have to have a U-Haul truck. Most of you guys are probably the same way, but the tools I'm talking about are the ones that you'll probably need to blaze your way to, so to speak, to your bug out location. And that would be, I would be taking tools like I mentioned I wouldn't take a chainsaw, but a chainsaw is on the list. If you got a car or a truck and are able to bug out with that, then you may want to throw the chainsaw in. If not, you may want to just take you crosscut saw, maybe throw in some hacksaw blades or something like that. You know, some of those hacksaw frames even, you know, they'll fold up these days into hardly nothing. And those hacksaw blades, they come in handy for a lot of different things, not just sawing. You can uh, make things out of them. You can make lock picks out of them. I don't know if you're aware of that, but I'm just using that as an example. You know, it it's just handy to have multiple saws with you. I have a little fold-up saw, and then I have a crosscut saw, like I told you before. That goes on the back side of my thing, but I also have hacksaw blades stuffed down inside side of one of my side pockets, so it's just easy to have that. Hey, Matt, how you doing? Good to see you. I'm just seeing people every once in a while, so I'll try to call you out. I see Nike girls in here as well, so those are saws are going to be a big part of making sure that you're going to be able to take care of some stuff there. Also, you want to make sure to take some shovels. Now that's another can of worms there, in my opinion. There's a lot of shovels out there. Uh, I'm one of those firm believers is you get what you pay for. And sometimes even if you pay a lot of money, they're not worth much either. So if you're gonna get you a shovel, make sure it's gonna be small enough to fold up. But when it's unfolded, it's still gonna be able to do the job. And there's a lot of them out there. I didn't write any of the good ones down, but there's enough of them out there. Make sure that you're looking at some videos. A lot of guys have reviews on shovels, so if you're gonna be out there looking for a shovel, look through the. Just put in uh, folding shovel reviews into your Google search, and pretty sure that you'll find a couple of thousand videos on shovels. So shovels are going to be important. So are hatchets and axes. Axes and hatchets. Uh, Now those are something else. Also, you want to make sure the axes are kind of small. The axe I have has a fairly short handle on it, and I do that so I can just hang it off the back of my backpack. And then I also have a hatchet, so those all hang on the outside. And like I said, now when you're packing your backpack, make sure you're not making it heavier than what you can carry. You may have to divvy those tools up among everybody's backpack, so everybody's not carrying that weight. That comes back to making sure that your organizational skills are working. Another good thing to have, and I love these things. Everybody loves a good machete. So you should have a machete on board. That's something that's pretty easy to carry right on your side. So, and those things are handy for a lot of different things. Machete is good for uh, shoot a baton and firewood. I kind of went blank for a second. But they're good for batoning. They can take down small brush. You may get off the beaten path. May have to blaze your own path. You just never know. Hey, how you doing, Tyler? I see you just came in. And then I see another one, Palmetto Prepared. How are you doing? And here, that's happy. Big Red EDC, welcome. Yeah, I just kind of sitting here rambling, so I may not see you when you first come in, but I'll try to get to you when I look down and see what's going on. So, Georgia Rebel, how you doing? So that machete, everybody loves a good machete. It doesn't matter if you go out and get a $2 one or a $20 one, whatever. Just get you a machete and have some fun with it. Another big thing for me is you should have some sort of hand tools, and I don't mean like uh, clippers and stuff like that. I'm thinking more like wrenches and stuff. Yeah, pry bar, some maybe a monkey wrench, a crescent wrench, whatever you want to call it. Some small hand tools so that if you need to take something apart or you need a part out of something, that you'll have the option of being able to do that. So many people don't think about the hand tool part. What if you can't take something with you and you get almost to your bug out location and you say, hey, look at there, we left that at home. Oh man, if we don't take it, Jimmy's gonna get it. Come on, let's go get it. So you're gonna go over there, you're gonna take it apart, and you're gonna carry it the rest of the way to your bug out location. you want to make sure that you're not taking anything too soon. You want to make sure you get as close to your bug out location as you can. But you may get close enough and find something that you're going to need. So that's why I always say put in a few hand tools, things like crescent wrenches uh, or shoot adjustable wrenches of some kind. Pry bar is going to be a big thing because if SHTF is out there, it'll say the grid goes down or something like that. Then you're going to want to make sure that you can get into places and get stuff like maybe you get to break a lock on a door or get in and get some groceries that were left, which I doubt will happen, but they may be out there. And you may be able to grab them if you come across them. So you want to make sure that you have that almighty pry bar so that you get into those delicate places. So let me get to the next page here. Hey, let's talk about. Let me see what we got. We're about 9 o'clock. I'll go for a little bit more, you guys, because I want to try to bring these guys in on a panel next week. So we'll try to cover some more stuff then. But I want to talk about before we get out of here. Let's talk about what would happen if you guys if the grid went down. I'm not sure that you guys would know everything that would go on. But pretty much all of commerce will shut down. EMPs don't necessarily mean that it's going to happen all across the United States. The way they do them now is they aim them wherever they want, and that's what they do. So there may be a way that if the EMP hits your town or city or whatever you live in, maybe a way that you get away and go somewhere where there's real people again. But if there's not, then you need to know that uh, for one thing, ATMs will be non-existent. They will not work for nothing, and banks will close because none of their bank machines are going to work, and they probably won't be able to get into the safe because that's all time locked up and stuff. The cash registers for all the stores will be down. The gas pumps won't work because those all run off electricity. The traffic lights will go out, so we'll have in the bigger cities a traffic jam or whatever, or smaller cities it'll probably get bungled up too, but nothing like a big city. Uh, Most likely your cell phone won't work because it's going to take cell towers and things like that to run those. You may have power to them, but when the power runs out, then unless you have your little solar pouches or whatever, then you're probably not going to be able to recharge your phone. So, and even if you did recharge it, where it's still iffy if it would work. So that's something to think about. Um, the electrical grid will be down, and then uh, here's what some people don't think about is the nuclear plants. Now, they all run off of heavy amounts of electricity, so they will probably fall off. I mean, they will shut down. So if they shut down, what that means is I can't remember what they call the insides. It was just in my head, but the reactors will start cooling off, and then the nuclear material will actually start leaking out. It'll leak out onto the ground, all around wherever the power plant is located. So then you've got radiation, and you got to deal with fallout and all that stuff. So these are all things that would happen if the grid were to go down, and it does. Like I said, they might just hit the major cities. They might hit just one major city. You just don't know anymore. Anything can happen in this new day and age. You just don't really know what's going to go on. So if you're just prepared for everything, it really kind of, in my book, is kind of the way you want to go. You want to be prepared for anything and hope nothing happens, basically. So, when the EMP hits, you're still going to have your first responders. They're going to be out there. They're going to be trying to do their jobs. They're going to do it the best they can, even though they don't have electricity. Their two-way radios aren't going to work. They're not going to be able to communicate with one another. But they will be out there and they will try to get their jobs done. They'll try to do the best they can. They'll patrol the streets or whatever they have to do. Maybe they'll have some walkie-talkies or things like that. I'm pretty sure that cops or whatever the first responders, they probably have a pretty good plan put together for these kind of things. They probably have huge Faraday cages compared to the little or smaller ones that we make. That's another story. I'm not going to go there, but a Faraday cage will protect a lot of electronics. That would just have to be another thing to talk about. Yeah, yeah, another time. So when the first responders actually get tired of trying to chase each other around, if it's widespread enough, then what they're going to end up doing is they're probably just going to end up going home, and they're going to try to take care uh, of their community or their families or something like that, because that's going to be their major priority. It's a human nature is take care of your own. So that would be something to think about too. So trucks and trains, they'll stop running because then there's no way for them to power down the road, right? Also, pharmacies will be they're going to be blazed up too because they run off electricity. And then you got to think about if the grid's down, the people that are taking the medications, they're going to do what they have to do to get their meds. So, probably going to storm the pharmacies. They're probably going to get in there and they're going to take what they want and leave hardly anything to left. So pharmacies will be out of the picture. Farmers won't be able to farm because they won't have the fuel it takes to fuel their tractors. Unless they got a few of their great grandpa's plows and some horses around, they're just going to be pretty much stuck. They won't be able to do any of the farming, bring in any of the crops, be able to ship out any crops or anything like that. They might be good enough with where they're at to be able to supply their community, but they won't be able to put anything out on the market or anything like that. Uh, Here's a good statistic for you guys. 13% of all Americans are on opioids, and another 13% of them are on antidepressants. So when all this goes to heck in a handbasket, all these people are going to be going through withdrawals. So those people are going to be the ones that you're going to want to watch out for because when they start going through withdrawals, they're going to have a bunch of crazy things going through their mind. So without the pharmacies or being able to go to a help center or anything like that, they're going to start going through withdrawals. And man, I just really wouldn't want to be there if that were to happen. I years ago, years ago when I was young and dumb, I got hooked on some drugs. And when I got started coming off of them, I really had some crazy thoughts going through my mind. So it's not fun to do, and most people don't want to have those thoughts that go through their heads. They would just rather be medicated, but as they come down, things are going to happen that we're not really going to care about. Also, 25% of the population is going to become depressed because of the situation that they're in. Say the EMP lasts longer than a couple of weeks. Say it goes into 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that. The longer that it lasts, that the people don't have what they need to get by their everyday lives, the more it's going to drive them into like a depressed state. So as they get into that depressed state, then they start thinking, sort of, in my opinion, they're going to start thinking sort of like a junkie. They're going to start wondering what they can do to get what they need. So that is really something to think about. This can and it can happen at any time. I mean, we could just be going about our everyday life, and all of a sudden, like in the morning, we're driving down the street going to Walmart or whatever, or Billy and Jimmy up the street. They're gonna come over and do your lawn or something, and all hell breaks loose. So you don't know when or if it's gonna happen, but when it does, you need to have the education of knowing what to do when that happens. So basically, law and order will not even exist. Just now we're just talking about what happens in the case of a grid down with an EMP. That basically law and order will just go flying out the window. We'll be a world without rule of order, and then death will be around every corner because there'll be tons of people out there that want to do what they have to do to get what they want. So just think of any of that can happen just any moment, you know. You could be walking over to the library when it happens, or your husband could be coming home from work, or your kids could still be at school, or there's just a ton of stuff that can happen, and you need to know what to do, and you need to know how to do it in a quick and efficient manner so that things don't get out of hand. Here's something for you guys to think about. And then I'll just close it up because I know we got a late start. So if you were like 175-pound person and you only exercise say like 30 minutes a day, okay? That person that weighs 175 pounds would need 33.7 cups of water a day, which works out to 269 ounces or 7.96 liters. And that's how much water you would need every day if you weighed 175 pounds and you only exercised on an average of 30 minutes a day. Well, I started adding all that up. That gets to be some pretty huge numbers, actually. It adds up to being that 33.7 cups a day actually turns out to be 1,011 cups a month. 1,011 cups a month. And then that would all work down to 12,300.5 cups a year. Pretty high numbers, huh? So that would work out in ounces at 269 an ounce would work out to 8,070 ounces a month or 3,228 ounces a year. And if you break that down into liters, that would be 7.96 liters would break down to 238.8 liters a month or 95.52 liters a year. No, 950.52 liters a year. So that's just for a 175-pound person. It would go down if you weighed less. It would go up if you weighed more. If you exercise more, the number would go up. So those are all just examples. That was just an example. I took a basic number and kind of played with the numbers just to try to show you that you need a lot of water to survive. So water is going to be your biggest concern in SHTF, whether it be a disaster in your area, because everybody knows what their disasters are, or whether it be just an EMP. You need to make sure that you have enough water for each person. Now, those numbers I read off to you, that is just for one person. So if you times that times see, I have 4 people in my home, so that would be something like 50,000 cups a year. I'm pretty sure that's going to go up because not everybody weighs 175 pounds, right? So that's something to think about, you guys. And with that, that's all I'm going to go through tonight because it took. Sorry about the inconvenience, but that's all I got. I have a lot more, but want to just not keep you guys up all night. Is there gonna be any questions or anything? You guys can ask me some questions now. I'm gonna take a drink, and you guys can say whatever you want, make some comments, ask questions. I'll answer them if I can. If I can't, I'm sure there's somebody in the side chat that can. I drink. There you go. Yeah. Okay, she looks like I got everybody in here. All right. Don't forget we have Wednesday morning is when I do the live stream. That's when we take all the names down for the drawing on Saturday night. So if you want to be in the drawing for Saturday night, you have to be here on Wednesday mornings, and that runs from 9 till about 12 noonish probably. And then on Saturdays we have another one. So I'm probably gonna try to do a Friday live stream again this week, and we'll see how that goes. I'm just gonna keep doing it until I get all this stuff figured out going into Hangouts. So I'm gonna have to uninstall and reinstall that darn Hangouts. I've never had that happen before. How's the fishing? Haven't got a chance to go yet, Red. Thinking about going out for the weekend. Thinking about getting me a camping spot and going out for the weekend. I just take a break away from all my live streams and go for a weekend and then just take videos while I'm out. Body fat doesn't need water. That's about right. Yeah, listen to step one. It would vary, even if, like, if you're a diabetic, you have to drink more water than most people. Like, I'm diabetic, I have to drink water in order to keep my water metabolism in check. If I don't drink water and take Lasix, then I blow up like a balloon. So everybody's different, I just gave an instance. It was a big enough instance to really make an impact. I was kind of surprised how fast it adds up. I'm gonna try to get a table up for that. More and more, I'll be doing OBS, but it will be probably in Hangout. So that's the direction I'm going in. Yeah, females will probably need more. Yep, I agree there. All the tables will tell you that. Hey, Lily, how you doing? Good to see you. I surely want to thank everybody for having the patience tonight until I could get in here. The last ditch effort was at the OBS thing. I really wanted to get my guests up there and let them show you their stuff. And it always helps to have more than one to help get the point across. I appreciate that, Staff Sergeant. I really do. That means a lot. I've come a long way since I started, for sure. All I gotta do is figure out the rest of the technicalities here. I'll get it. One week it works fine, next week it don't. It's that YouTube bug thing. Hey, FFP, what's up? Good to see you. I don't know why it didn't work. Might have been because I had that virtual camera on and then I changed my mind and turned it off. That might have been it. Next time I just have to learn not to change my mind in the middle of the stream, I think. I see, is Sue in here? Hey, Mike, how you doing? Good to see you. All right, Rob, go tuck them girls in. Thanks for coming in, Hooples. I appreciate it, my friend. I'll try to get everything back on track. I don't like to have loose ends. It kind of unravels me. I should have hooked up the box if I was going to be doing this thing. I don't even think I can real quick. I don't know what I did with it. We'll do it next time. Hey, Staff Sergeant, if I get all this figured out, if I can get everything worked out for the panel, would you mind coming up on one of my panels sometime? I'd appreciate some knowledge up there. Hi, Sue. I'm sorry I was talking. I didn't see everybody that came in. Are you leaving me, Keith? You go get some rest, Keith. All right, Red. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. I'll probably be out here at about 15. Yeah, I usually try to set everything up like a week in advance, Staff Sergeant, so I wouldn't be like making you do it all of a sudden. I'd give you a couple of weeks notice. It's kind of hard too. Some nights you stream same time I do. It may have to be a special live stream or something. But I'd like to try to get you on a panel sometime. All right, Tyler. You go to bed and get your beauty sleep, buddy. See ya, Cruiser. Yep, I would love to have both of you on, as a matter of fact. It would be a twofer for sure. Good evening to you, Mississippi. How are you doing? You have a great evening, Cruiser. Thanks for coming by. All you guys that are not are. You know what? I need to do something here. Hold on. I just noticed something here. I need to fix. See if I can get it small enough. We'll just fix it right now. There we go. Now I'll be able to keep track of you, Staff Sergeant. Night, Tyler. You have a good night, my friend. I'm always gonna leave some sort of off the wall comment for you, Tyler, every once in a while, so get used to it, my friend. Welcome back, Rob. Hey, old man, did you get your package? I didn't see if you answered me or not. It should be there. If it's not there, maybe tomorrow. I got it off last week. Yeah, you guys make sure you're saying hi to Staff Sergeant's little woman. Well, it'll be there probably tomorrow or next day then, old man. I was moving all of my stickers because I had a mistake and tried to burn down my sticker board. If you guys remember when I did that fire starter video, so I had to take them all off. Probably won't be able to see it in the green screen, but now they're all on my laptop, so they can't get burned up. So most of them are on my laptop now. See how that goes. If you guys are needing stickers from me, if you haven't gotten yours yet, make sure you let me know so I can get one off to you. I do sticker trades. If you want trade a sticker, I'll do that. Usually, if you win a contest, one of my contests, I'll throw stickers in. I'm working on getting bumper stickers right now, so they should be here probably in the next couple of days. So those are going to look kind of sharp. Better hope you win the spin. Those are what they're going to be for. Oh, you don't have stickers? Well, I would tell you the best place to get some at would be the place I get mine at. Most people, I don't know where Staff Sergeant gets his. I get mine from Sticker Mule. I sell other ones on my Teespring, but the ones I really like are from Sticker Mule. And you can just type that in your Google, it'll come up. They have real reasonable prices. If you tell them I sent you, you'll get 10% off. They'll make you a real good deal for the first bunch of stickers that you order. They'll give you a discount. Plus, they'll give you another discount because I sent you. Plus, they'll give me a discount because you told them I sent you. So I don't have a way to write that in. Well, I could, I guess. Hold on. Doing that. Now maybe I can. I don't know where Staff Sergeant gets his, but that's where I get mine. And then if you have Teespring, you can have stickers on your Teespring too, but I can get them cheaper through Sticker Mule than I can my Teespring. Hey, CR, how you doing? Good to see you, my friend. You just dropping by? I know you're on the run, right? You keep coming, Palmetto prepared, and you're going to end up with one of those darn wrenches things. You've almost been here enough times to get one. For you guys just coming in, you have to be a regular to get a wrench, so that's kind of incentive. Kind of, that's my mental reminder telling me who the regulars are and who the regulars aren't. If you're not in blue yet, that means that you're either new or you haven't been here much. So it's kind of a mind thing for me. Right on, thanks, Palmetto. I appreciate that. So, is there any other words of wisdom you guys need? Yeah, it's usually earlier, Palmetto. I usually come on around 7:30. I think that's about 8:30 or 9:30 your time, but I do it 7:30 because I used to do it later, but I moved the time back. But rain catchment, there you go. Word of wisdom. See, Rob knows rain catchment. What's one thing? Well, I know. Figure out my hangout, right? I can't believe it happened like that. I've never had that happen. 20 miles is one day of walking. Yeah, and that's if you're healthy, right? I mean, if you're not, your 20 miles might not be doable, you know. Get out of debt, yeah, as fast as you can, because we live in a pretty up and down economy right now. So if you could get out of debt, that would be a plus. Also, don't rely on physical money too much. I have started collecting silver and gold, so that's what whenever I can. I mean, I'm not a rich guy or anything, but whenever I can, I try to pick up silver and keep that locked up. So silver, you can't go wrong really with silver. I don't even think the Bitcoin thing will be worth 2 cents either. I've heard people say that they would rather have Bitcoins, but you know what? Bitcoins are just a currency that they run online, and it's not really physical. So, guess what? If all hell breaks loose, those Bitcoins are worthless. That's right, Rob. Actually, you could put up a tarp, and if it caught condensation, say from the early morning dew or whatnot, if you were to make like a funnel, like a V with your tarp, and the condensation would melt and flow down that tarp, and you'd be able to catch some. It wouldn't be a lot, but it would be better than nothing. I mean, if you're thirsty, you're gonna get kind of ingenious. You're gonna try to figure out ways to catch water, some way of drinkable water. Yeah, that's right, Wayne. That's what I said. If the servers are down, then that currency is just worthless. It's just gonna not be there. I mean, a lot of people. I've been reading some articles on it, and a lot of people that do the dark web or deep dark web or whatever you call it, they deal mostly in crypto coins or bitcoins or something like that. and that they do that because then their money is untraceable. But they don't understand that if the net goes down or for some big reason, that Bitcoin's going to be absolutely worthless. How are they going to recoup any of the money that they've got into it? That's what I don't understand about those guys. Sure, it's untraceable, but what if you lose the internet? I mean, they're trying to tell you that even if the internet goes down in SHTF, that the dark web would still be running, and I don't believe that. Maybe, but I just can't see it happening. They're saying that we only get to use like a third of the internet, and the other 2/3 of it is like the dark web or the deep dark web or something like that. Yep, that's what they're doing. Is they're trying to they're trying to funnel their money away from the government. Exactly, you're exactly right, Palmetto. But the government's actually going to give you the finger if something actually goes wrong, and all the servers and the what and internet goes to heck because how are you going to get your bitcoins back? How are you going to get your cryptocurrency? I mean, I would be just totally terrified. Yeah, electronic currency system. Well, we kind of have that now, with our debit cards. If you think about it, they pushed us into those debit cards. Do you remember that? I don't. Some of you guys might not remember it, but I remember when all they would take is checks. Even when debit cards first came out, people wouldn't take them because they didn't trust them. So what they did was they would uh, write checks or go to the bank and get cash. Well, then they started pushing the debit cards on us or the credit cards. and they start giving you cash back for using them, you know. Then when they got everybody hooked on them, then they started taking back the cash back part of it and all that stuff, or earning cash for spending money on them and stuff. They started taking it back. Now, if the system goes down, you're going to be SOL. How are you going to get your money out of the bank? I don't know. That's going to be a tough one. I, I've listened to a lot of different people that have different ideas, and the best one I've heard yet is to slowly keep a little bit of money every month back that you don't put in your bank account. Keep it either in a safe or in a safe place, because that way, when all hell breaks loose, you can't get your money out of the bank. At least you have something to fall back on, something that you can buy something with that other people can't. Cash is the best way for sure, huh, Hooples? That's why I said if you can, start holding away cash. I mean, uh, I usually don't tell too many people that, but my cell phone, in the back of it here is usually a little bit extra, just in case something terrible goes wrong, you know. And then you know that you have something. It's like a nest egg. That's just some of what I have, but that is just like a nest egg, like an emergency fund. Yep, there, Rob, you got a point right there, buddy. I mean, cash might not even be worth nothing. That's right. It might not be worth the paper it's written on. May have to go back to the days of gold and silver, or even bartering, may have to go back to bartering. Yep, true that, Toofles, true that. Lead and brass, maybe lead and brass might be worth something. There's going to be a lot of things that are worth a lot, depending on what you're willing to give up and what people are willing to sell. That might be the way of the future if everything breaks down. You never can tell. In a motel or a hotel. Yeah, you may have to have your pry bar for that, Hooples. May have to have a pry bar so you can break into that place. Depending on what's going on, everything might be boarded up. If everything's boarded up, you may have to break in, like Hooples is saying, if it's snowing outside or it's deathly cold, below zero or whatever, and you don't have anywhere to stay, that's when that pry bar is going to come in handy. You could break into a building and get in out of the weather. There hopefully might be something in there that you can start a fire with. All right, Rob. Yep, I think I'm about out of here too. I want to apologize to everybody for tonight's live stream. That's not really who I am, but that's the way it turned out. I do want to invite everybody. I want to thank everybody for coming. I absolutely want to thank everybody that showed up. But I want to remind you guys about Wednesday's live stream and make sure that you're there at 9 a.m. I do that that'll be on this platform here, OBS. So I will have all my bells and whistles hooked up. We'll be doing some fun stuff. I will be doing spin the wheel and showcasing channels that are in the live stream. And what we do is we spin the wheel and we count down from the chat box, and wherever that name it lands in the numbers, like say I spin 20, then we'll go down 20, and that the 20th channel would be brought up on the screen and showcased. We kind of show off your channel. We kind of look at the whole thing, the thumbnails. We look at your about section, and we usually play a clip off of one of your videos. So that is a showcase networking day, and I expect to see each and every one of you guys there, okay? If you can't be there the whole time, hey, we don't really care. Come in, excuse me, either on your coffee break or lunch hour or whatever, spend a couple of minutes so you can get your name entered into that drawing. That's what it's all about. Get 50 people on the list, and I will have two drawings on Saturday night instead of one, and that's how it works. So until next time, you guys, I want to thank you again for coming, and that's going to be it for tonight. You guys have a super duper night, okay? Hope you all have a great week. See ya.